Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. This is another video about our trip to Singapore. This is our footage for the day that we went to Sentosa, which is like a fun-filled island of activities. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe in case you're interested in more travel videos that we will be uploading, and or if you're like a car lover, which is the main point of this channel, but I digress. So this is the ketchup dispenser at a McDonald's in Singapore. If you notice, there is one container of ketchup and two containers of chili sauce or hot sauce because in Singapore they love spicy food. Singapore is also really big on tea, and this is how they pour the tea in long distances, and they brew it in a sock or hosiery. Apparently you get a smoother tea that way. If you want your tea to go, which is what I said to them, it comes in this cool little strap. I've also seen people on the streets carrying around bags of tea, like a sandwich bag filled with tea, and it's tied around, and I thought that was pretty cool. So to get to Sentosa, we decided to take the tram. I believe you get there by train as well, but trams seem to be like the cooler experience because you get an aerial view of things and you get to see everything from above. So that's really cool and fun. I bought my tickets for the transportation to Sentosa Island on KLOOK, KLOOK. It's an app that I use, and they offer discounts when you order through them, so that's part of the reason for why I used it. You can also accumulate points and apply those points for your future purposes to further discount the cost of your tickets. They also have reviews on the experiences, so it's always good to check those out to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, and there are also several recommendations. So I really do like the KLOOK app, especially when I'm traveling to countries that I don't really know a whole lot about, because I appreciate their suggestions.
Oh my god, it's rocking right now. I am like scared.
Okay, don't worry. No worries. Oh, look at the view.
Holy crap. This is scary.
There's no AC in here, so they give us two little fans.
Oh man, I hope these cables are strong. So, if you're scared of heights, don't take the tram. Also, you may have noticed that there are lots of beaches on Sentosa Island, and they're all really pristine, well maintained, and pretty empty actually. We are not huge beachgoers, so we were mostly here for the other activities like the aquarium and getting a nice view and some hiking, which is why I went to Siloso Point, and this is their walkway. If you do love the beach though, you should definitely pack a bathing suit and some towels. There's also a wax museum, which is I don't know why you would go to Singapore to go to a wax museum. I don't really think that should be on the top of your list. But the rock was in wax form and on display, and Josh was honestly not impressed, as you can tell. So right by Siloso Point, there was a 7-Eleven that we went to, primarily because it was so hot and humid that day, like every day in Singapore, that we needed to find a place to cool down, and we decided to go to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee and some food. This is where I found the chili crab onigiri. In case you didn't know, chili crab is like one of their signature dishes. Even though they give you a map to navigate Sentosa Island, we were still pretty confused because there's like this weird ticketing system, and then there's like, I don't know. It was a little, I just remember being very confused, and like we had tickets to take the tram from location to location, but you can only have it one time. They stamped it. It was a little stressful because we kind of went in circles, but they were kind of understanding when we were like, we were trying to get here, but we ended up over there. They're like, it's okay, just get on again. And
it's no big deal. But they do check to make sure that you're not abusing your privilege or your tickets. So I guess plan thoroughly beforehand or ask for help before you get on the tram. So after some wrong turns and getting on the wrong tram, we eventually got to the Sea Aquarium. It's one of the world's largest aquariums with one of the largest tanks. Um, I would definitely recommend scheduling your visit to the aquarium right around feeding time, which is exactly what we did. So we saw the other parts of Sentosa Island in the morning, and then we arrived around 2 p.m. for all the various feeding times, and that's when the fish are the most active. It's like they all swarm to the workers who are there in their scuba suits and air tanks, and that's when you get the most dramatic footage. So for the feeding times, there are actually several different
since you're still
types
here
of
watching the super
throughout
cool
the day.
footage
So
of
like
all
not
these
all the marine
sharks
life
swimming
is fed at the same
above
time.
my head
Like
during that time,
sharks are
please
fed at
take a
like
moment
2
and hit
o'clock,
the
and then
like button.
I don't know,
And if you like what you
penguins at
see,
3
please
o'clock.
subscribe.
I actually don't remember we saw
We're
penguins.
going to upload
But
all of our videos for our travels.
basically
Maybe you will find
there
them
is a feeding
helpful.
schedule online.
I'm trying to include
and
as much
we
advice as I can.
basically
Thank you so much.
planned a route throughout the aquarium to go from one feeding time to another feeding time, and we would rest until the next feeding time because there's a lot to go through and you will get tired walking. It's also a great place for kids, so you will see a lot of kids. And there is a tank where you can touch and feel different types of marine life, like starfish, and I think there's like an urchin also. I don't think I have footage of it here though, but it was nice. Really? Oh, it's feeding time, that's why.
Mas lighter yung hoops sa
Anak sa catfish. Like spotty.
This is some super ancient type of marine life and it's being hand fed by a marine biologist. I thought this was funny because, I mean, imagine doing that as your job. It's pretty cool. Very relaxing, I think. So this is a glass floor that they had where you could look down and see the marine life that's living underneath. I thought that was pretty cool, a little nerve-wracking. You don't know how to swim, might think that you might drown or something. And here is the footage of the touch tank that I wasn't sure about. I mean, look at how nice it is. There's actually quite a long line when I went there because it was like a school visiting, and I had to wait for all the children to take their time touching all the marine life that were permitted to be touched and not permitted to be touched. Like they actually make sure you touch it with just the right amount of pressure. Like you're not allowed to touch it without someone holding your hand. Even me, a full-grown adult who does not look intimidating in any way, needed assistance touching a starfish. Which is understandable because some people are reckless and unpredictable, so yeah. But this is pretty cool. I've never seen a touch tank with such colorful fish before, and there were so many of them. Like look at that, and shrimp and everything too. They also have a lot of jellyfish on display, and
apparently a lot of them fluoresce with UV light, so they have several black light. And you will see the jellyfish glowing right here. And coming up is what the tanks look like during feeding time. I mean, look at that. How insane is that? There are so many fish and so many marine biologists in there providing food. I mean, you definitely don't want to miss feeding time at Sea Aquarium. So we're almost at the end of this video. If you liked what you saw, please make sure you hit the like button. Sorry if this is annoying, but it is important for the YouTube algorithm. And so the clips coming up are basically of a few snacks that we had while we were there. They do have a lot of restaurants at Sentosa, specifically near the Sea Aquarium. They are kind of Americanized. I remember seeing like McDonald's there and Krispy Kreme. I mean, there are lots of like Americanized outlets in Singapore in general. So whatever you want from the US, you'll see it there as well, with more interesting things. I don't believe we ate anything there. We ended up just getting ice cream and some candy. The candy would be a really good souvenir, I think. So you guys probably think I'm completely obsessed with ice cream, and yeah, I really was during this trip because it was so hot, and ice cream is like the best thing that you can really get to cool down. Um, this was a ice cream stand in Sentosa, right by where the Sea Aquarium was. It is made from the cream in Hokkaido, which is a region of Japan where they take very, very special care of their cows, and they pride themselves on the very best milk and therefore the very best cream. And this ice cream was actually very interestingly high quality. The taste was also interesting because there are like 4 flavors. So you have like melon, green tea, ube, and something else. I didn't think it was great. I think I just really wanted it because it looked cool. But yeah, during this trip I ate ice cream like twice a day. And then we have this sticky candy, which is Josh's favorite candy from Singapore. It's not traditional, it's just cool, pretty colorful. Some of the flavors are pretty good, some of the flavors are pretty weird. Like, I think there's like a durian flavor, which I really didn't like, but maybe you will.